whatever you do, stick and move. Stick and move. Don't stand in front of that man. Do not stand in front of that man.
I don't know how much confidence that Jake Paul have in all this, but you know he's gonna be a lot quicker. And if he stay close to Mike,
Jake, what do you think of Jake?
Clown. Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him.
Did you ever do a fight like that?
I feel as though in my career, I can't do that right now.
Stephen A. Smith unleashed a fiery rebuke of Gervonta Tank Davis on live TV, insisting he should be ashamed with his trademark intensity. Smith ripped into Davis for agreeing to fight YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul, calling the bout more spectacle than sport. He denounced the matchup as a circus and an insult to boxing, accusing Davis of trading integrity for hype. It was one of Smith's most explosive tirades yet, making clear that this fight deserves condemnation, not celebration.
Steven, I wanted you to come on the show to tell me that you think I'm a great boxer.
I think you're a damn good boxer with a lot of potential. And I got one problem with you, and I told you this already. You are skilled. You cannot be going in the ring beating up on dudes that you know don't box. You can't have a basketball player, UFC fighters. No, they strike. They don't box. There's a difference. They're not on your level.
As we all know, as a competitive sport boxing fan, this is nonsense. It doesn't make any sense for the sport, for Tank as a world champion fighting Jake Paul, as Jake Paul trying to become a world champion fighting Tank. None of that makes sense. Business-wise, this thing's gonna blow up. So let's see about the business of this thing. Let's see what the narrative is for this fight. Because again, I think Jake's gonna come in there and try to knock Tank Davis out. And if Tank's not taking him seriously, believe it or not, that potentially could happen. And I'll explain why. The breakdown, let's go.
Smith admitted that Davis is among the top 3 boxers in the world, praising his power, skill, and knockout ability. As a decorated world champion, Tank has proven himself at the highest level. By contrast, Jake Paul is largely a YouTuber and a novice who entered boxing from entertainment. For an elite champion to face such an inexperienced opponent, Smith argued, risks damaging Davis's reputation. That's why he said Tank should feel ashamed for taking the fight.
I can't buy the hype at this particular moment in time. Now, I'll give Jake Paul credit for this. At least he's in the ring with a boxer. But 57 years old is 57 years old. And 57 years old and formally walking into a UFC fight as an audience member, as a patron with a cane, it's hard to me believe a year later that you're going to be in any condition to really, really fight. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. And if you're Jake Paul, here's what I want to say to you. It's Mike Tyson, that's fine. It's a money fight, I get you, and you want to make money. But at some point in time, if you keep telling us that you're taking boxing seriously and you want to be recognized as a big-time boxer / fighter, you're going to have to fight somebody closer to your age, who is a contender at the very least in the sport and who lives with it every single day. Could you please get in the ring with somebody? Pretty please with sugar on top. I'm interested. Gervonta Davis might be every bit as box office as Maverick himself. As exciting, as electric, because this dude performs every time out, y'all. Wherever Davis goes, wherever he fights, fans justifiably follow. He's that special. And Davis is without a doubt one of the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now. Don't you even doubt it.
Smith broadened his criticism to include the trend of celebrity mismatches, such as Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. He called the event saddening, even disgusting, arguing that Paul must face real competition, legitimate fighters in their prime, not aging athletes or faded stars. While he acknowledged Paul's promotional genius and the attention he brings, Smith insisted that true credibility comes only from fighting established boxers.
The world to recognize this is one of the top 5 fighters on the planet. He might be top 3.
Yeah.
You can make a legitimate argument for him to be in 3, 1, or whatever. Frank Martin, props to him, came into the fight 18-0, 12 knockouts. Clearly did not have the power to keep Gervonta Davis from stalking him from opening tap. That's what he did. He stalked him and stalked him and stalked him. Okay? Frank Martin caught him with some good shots. Gervonta Davis kept coming. So he can punch. He's a knockout artist. He can box. He's not given enough credit for it, okay? He closes. He finishes. Once he smells blood, he's like a shark in blood-infested waters, Molly. He will finish you, okay? And by the way, he is an elite boxer. And so the time has come for this man.
Davis challenged him following the Tyson fight. Jake Paul lightened the mood with a playful jab at the post-fight press conference. He welcomed the idea of fighting Davis, but couldn't resist teasing him about his height, jokingly comparing it to weight class restrictions and wondering if height rules exist. 2. It was a witty dig that highlighted the obvious size gap, while also adding humor to what was otherwise a tense promotional moment.
Jake Paul is a professional. At some point in time, I don't give a damn if it's a light heavyweight. Better be a Bivol, a super middleweight, Canelo, Mexican Monster, David Benavidez, somebody that actually has a reputation. The time has come for Jake Paul to step into the ring with a cat who actually boxes for a living and give us that fight. I appreciate the fact of him promoting. I appreciate him having the cachet as a former YouTuber turned boxer. I like Jake Paul. I respect Jake Paul. I'm just saying, because I like him and because I respect him, I want to see him in the ring. And I don't want to hear, I know his numbers are better, but then he gonna say, I don't need Canelo, Canelo needs me. Well, wait a minute. It ain't just about popularity, bruh.
Rolly Romero views Paul versus Davis on Netflix as a major draw, especially for young American fans. He argued that while Canelo versus Crawford appeals strongly to Mexican and Latin American audiences, the Paul Davis fight could capture a larger U.S. crowd, particularly under 20 viewers. Romero believes both fights benefit boxing overall, expanding its reach. Though he admitted Canelo versus Crawford is far superior from a sporting standpoint, he expects Paul versus Davis to generate bigger domestic buzz.
Right. Jake Paul responds to Gervonta Tank Davis call out and absolutely takes the moment and the opportunity to clown Gervonta Tank Davis's height in the sport of boxing. And he says here, is there a height limit in the sport of boxing? This is where Jake Paul says, and his team, Gervonta Tank Davis needs me. We don't need Gervonta Tank Davis. Let's listen here.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
WBC lightweight champion Shocker Stevenson also weighed in, sharply criticizing Davis for entertaining an exhibition with Paul. Stevenson said the move disrespects the sport and argued that if Davis truly wants credibility, he should face real contenders like himself. Claiming to be the best fighter in the division, Stevenson challenged Davis to prove it in the ring.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him. Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option for him, or like all that stuff, right? At the end of it, bro, we just want to do what's best for ourselves, right?
Facts.
Right or wrong?
Facts.
So just do what's best for you.
All of a sudden, we want to know who will win in this fight, Jake Paul or Tank Davis. It's a legit question. And I actually want to really hear your thoughts on who do you think is going to win. Because I know what Vegas is saying, but I want to know what you think. You got it.
Personally, I think Tank too little, bro.
Yo,
I think Tank too little.
I'm so glad you have a brain on your fucking shoulder.
I think Tank too little.
I said, bro.
I think Tank's too little. That's what I'm saying. That weight class is for a reason.
Davis,
that weight class is for a reason.
5'5", 135 pounds. Jake Paul is 6 feet, 205 pounds.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro.
He's too
6'1",
little.
205. Everybody's like, yeah, bro, but Tank it only takes one good punch. Yes, it takes one good punch when you're about the same size. There's a 60, 70 pound difference in weight with these people. I don't think nobody puts the physics in mind. Jake Paul gets punched in the face by dudes 200 pounds with all their might on a weekly basis. 135 pound puncher, bro. If y'all remember the Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight, Conor walks around like 180 on the regular. He's like 5'9", 180. Mayweather's like 5'7", 145. That 30 pound, 20, 30 pound difference, bro. If you remember that fight, Mayweather was putting mittens on Conor. Guess what happened to Conor? He didn't hit the ground once.
No.
He lasted all 12 rounds getting hit with flurries. I'm talking about Mayweather was having his time. He's being cocky with it, hitting him with all kind of combos. And we're watching the last 3 rounds of that shit like, yo, knock him out. And you know what? He could not knock him out because Conor gets punched by people that are 170, 180 pounds on a regular. And just that 20, 30 pound difference, it was like impossible for him to do anything. And that's exactly what I feel like is going to happen versus Jake and Tank.
Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas sees Davis as the most complete fighter at lightweight, pointing to his power, counterpunching, patience, footwork, and intelligence. In his view, Davis is the only fighter with the skill set to beat Jake Paul convincingly. Atlas emphasized that Tank isn't just about power, his ability to apply pressure, read opponents, and execute strategy makes him dangerous in every aspect of the game.
Paul didn't say you got your eye on Tank. What do you think about the rumors of Tank and Jake fighting?
Man, Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. He called cap on it. So if you gonna call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. You know, he fighting pay-per-view, knocking these dudes out. That don't take away the fact that I can beat this dude. That dude get to feeling himself and feeling like he's something that he's not. And to the world, he look like a killer, but I can't wait. I'm gonna expose him. I'm gonna expose him. I promise you, I'm gonna expose him. Watch. I'm gonna be the person that exposes him. I'm gonna be the person that she going there, he not gonna knock out. He not gonna hurt. He gotta go 12 rounds with somebody and somebody gonna be beating him. He ain't gonna like that shit. That shit gonna mess with his heart. That shit gonna fuck with his head. Why?
The Toe to Toe podcast broke down the Paul versus Davis exhibition, noting that no boxer would outright reject such a money fight. Despite the obvious skill and size mismatches, analysts Gary Logan and David Adalia argued that financial incentives often overshadow legacy, even for elite fighters like Davis, who was expected to face Lamont Roach next. Dane Moore called the event an inevitable crossover spectacle, driven more by entertainment and money than by true sporting merit, warning that it risks overshadowing genuine competition.
To see you as a guy that's in his trainer, that's like a father figure to him, you're training him all the time, you know him, both y'all from the streets of Baltimore the whole bit. Who do you want to see Tank fight next?
I want him to get all of them that ran their mouth.
Give me the names. I need names, Calvin. I need names.
You already know. We went down. We working on the big 4. It was Garcia. That's the first one. Roma, I hope we get him soon. Shakur, he's going to get it. He know he's going to get it. It's just Bob is in charge of that. You know what I'm saying? Bob know what he's doing over there. You can't tell Bob how to run his game because he's like a vet at this. He's been doing it for so many years. That's going to happen. All the fights that we'll want, they have no choice. They're going to take the fight when it's time to take the fight. It's just right now, who's going to take the fight? That's the question.